Hello, introduce myself. Name Amelia Putri, class MNJ23C, NPM 23,411,027. Today, I will explain the subject about consumer behavior service. Understanding of service consumer behavior. Service consumer behavior is the process and activity carried out by someone in finding, choosing, using, and evaluating a service to fulfill their needs and desires. In the context of services, consumer behavior is much more complex than consumer behavior of goods because the nature of services that are intangible, perishable, inseparable from the provider inseparability, and variability. Consumers cannot judge the quality of service before feeling it directly. Therefore, the decision to use services is often based on trust, reputation, and experience. For example, when someone chooses a beauty clinic or salon, they cannot be sure of the results before trying. Therefore, reputation, testimonials from other customers, and the image of service providers become the main factors in the decision-making process. The behavior of service consumers also involves stronger emotional and psychological aspects. For example, in education services, trust in institutions and teaching staff plays a very important role. Likewise, in banking services, customers choose a bank not only because of the interest rate, but because of the sense of security and trust in the institution. Characteristics of service consumers. Service consumers have special characteristics that distinguish them from consumers of goods products. Some of the main features that can be recognized are as follows. A. Relying on perception and trust. Because services cannot be seen, touched, or tried before being used, consumers usually rely more on perceptions formed from reputation, brand image, and recommendations from others. For example, someone prefers a hotel that has many positive reviews on the internet even though they have never stayed there before. B. More sensitive to service quality. In the service world, service is the main determinant of satisfaction. Consumers pay close attention to the friendliness of the officers, the speed of response, the comfort of the place, and the way the service provider communicates. If the service is bad, customers will easily switch to other service providers. C. Want a personal experience. Service consumers expect services that are in accordance with their personal needs and preferences. For example, restaurant customers want to be served in a friendly manner and remember their orders. Or salon customers want their haircuts tailored to their personal style. D. Influenced by emotional factors. The decision to purchase services is not only rational but also emotional. The feeling of security, comfort, pride, and appreciation is often the reason why someone chooses certain services. For example, customers choose a certain airline not only because of the price, but because they feel more comfortable and well served. Factors that affect service consumer behavior. The behavior of service consumers is influenced by various internal and external factors that interact with each other in the decision-making process. A. Internal factors. 1. Motivation. A person's motivation to fulfill certain needs. For example, someone uses gym services because they want to be healthy and look fit, or uses spa services for relaxation after work. 2. Perception. How consumers assess the quality and benefits of services based on experience or information. Two people can have different perceptions of the same service depending on their expectations and experiences. 3. Attitude and personality. A person's personality greatly affects the choice of services. People who are careful tend to choose services that are already famous and have a good reputation, while those who dare to try new things are easier to change service providers. 4. Previous experience. A satisfying experience makes customers tend to be loyal. On the contrary, a bad experience can make consumers reluctant to use the service again. B. External factors. 1. Family and friends. Recommendations from the surrounding environment are very influential because services are difficult to evaluate before trying. 2. Culture and lifestyle. Social values affect service preferences. Modern society, for example, prefers fast, practical, and technology-based services. 3. Technology and social media. Online reviews, ratings, and customer testimonials become an important source of information for potential consumers. 4. Economic condition. A person's financial situation determines the decision to choose premium or economical services. Service consumer decision-making process. Consumers do not immediately decide to use a service, but go through the following steps. 1. Identification of needs. This stage begins when the consumer is aware of a need or problem. For example, someone feels that their hair is too long and needs to be cut. 2. Information search. Consumers collect information from various sources such as the internet, social media, advertisements, or friend recommendations. 3. Alternative evaluation. After obtaining information, consumers compare several service providers based on price, quality, location, and customer testimonials. 4. Purchase decision. Consumers then choose the service that is considered the most suitable for their needs and make a purchase. 5. Post-purchase evaluation. After using the service, consumers assess the level of satisfaction. If satisfied, they tend to be regular customers and recommend to others. Types of service consumers. The behavior of each consumer varies depending on their way of thinking, motivation, and experience. Based on their behavior, service consumers are divided into 1. Rational consumer. Make decisions based on logical considerations such as price and quality. Example, choosing a car repair shop based on reputation and service price. 2. Emotional consumer. More influenced by mood and emotional experience. For example, choosing a certain salon because it feels comfortable and greeted with a friendly welcome. 3. Loyal consumer. Have trusted one service provider and tend not to move to another place. For example, bank customers who have been customers for a long time and are reluctant to move. 4. Impulsive consumer. Making decisions spontaneously without much consideration, usually occurs in entertainment, tourism, or culinary services. Marketing strategy to understand service consumer behavior. In order to survive and excel in competition, service providers need to understand their consumer behavior with the right strategies, including 1. Providing consistent service quality. Consistency is the key to maintaining customer trust. Every employee must provide the same good service at all times. 2. Building image and trust. A positive brand image can create customers' loyalty. Reputation can be built through excellent service, positive testimonials, and active presence on social media. 3. Managing customer relations (CRM). Long-term relationships with customers need to be maintained by giving attention, special discounts, and quick responses to complaints. 4. Utilizing digital technology. Social media, applications, and websites become important means for promotion, communication, and customer interaction. 5. Encourage word of mouth. Satisfied customer testimonials are the most effective promotion. Many service businesses are growing rapidly just because of recommendations from satisfied customers. Challenges in studying service consumer behavior and understanding the behavior of service consumers. Companies face various obstacles such as it is difficult to assess the quality of the service objectively because the results of the service cannot be seen or measured with certainty before being used. Dependence on human resources, where employee behavior and attitude greatly determines customer perception. Competition is getting tougher, making it easy for customers to switch to other service providers. If the service is not satisfactory, the impact of social media is large. Negative reviews can spread quickly and affect the brand image. Therefore, companies must always improve quality, maintain good relationships with customers, and actively monitor their reputation in the digital world. Conclusion: service consumer behavior is the result of the interaction between psychological, social, emotional, and economic factors that affect the way a person chooses and uses services. Because services are intangible, consumers rely on trust, experience, and reputation in making decisions. Service companies must understand the behavior of their consumers in order to be able to provide the best service, maintain satisfaction, and build long-term loyalty. In the current digital era, the ability to adapt to changes in consumer behavior is an important factor so that the service business remains relevant and competitive in the market.